What a great way to start the day. A cup of coffee, a Corvette video. Welcome to my channel, everybody. And on this channel, what's the one thing that I stress that you do? I mean, we share market news, product information, customer journeys, my experiences selling the car. But the one thing that I stress that you do, no matter what your car you have, is get out there, drive, and enjoy your Corvette. That's exactly what we have for you today. Jim and Gina come in from California, and when they arrive in Ohio, they have a planned and plotted trip 21 days back home. But on the way home, something happened to their new 2021 hardtop convertible. Many of you may have handled that a bit differently, and I think Jim handled it the best that he possibly could. Gina sent me this little box. Nice, thanks Gina. Inside's the SD card. And Jim, thank you for cataloging your journey back home. Everything is time-stamped. I mean, there's 60 hours of footage here. Now, I can't share all of that with you today. We're gonna share as much as we possibly can, and probably some stuff in future uploads. But after you're done watching today, and I do appreciate you taking the time to join us, you're gonna be encouraged and motivated to get in your Corvette and drive. Don't even have a destination. Get in the car and go. I hope you enjoyed today's upload. Here's Jim and Gina from California and their send-off pat on today's Coffee with Conti. Part that I like sharing with you guys on the vlog, and that's sharing you on the vlog. Now, many times when I have a client from California, and we do, oh my gosh, we do so much business in California. A little shout out to Sam, my past customer in San Diego, and Ron, your car is undercover there. Looks just like what it's gonna look like when the cover's off. It's a white car, so there you go, congratulations. That's going to Thousand Oaks. But you guys, what part of California are you from?
We're from Glendale, California.
Congratulations on the car. I gotta tell you up front, usually I say this when you guys are leaving, I say, thanks for waiting, thanks for hanging in there. Boy, it is true. How long? It's been over a year.
Year and a month.
It really has.
Yeah.
It's Jim and Gina, congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
And Gina told me, just when you were loading up the car, she says, you know, this all kind of started about a year ago. And I knew something was going on, and she was discouraging you from this car, which is beautiful. Eventually, she says, I might as well cave in. And you are excited about Corvette. Mm-hmm. Just hearing you talk about your club and the things you guys have done in the past, it's really enjoyable for me to see this with both of you. It's not just a guy thing, it really isn't, so that's awesome. But you guys, before you came out here, had an opportunity to see someone with a C8, and you did what? Measurements or something inside to figure out what you could take?
To make this trip north, we have a friend that has an Elkhart Lake Blue,
yeah,
a C8 Coupe, and he's always had multiple items in his trucks and all his Corvettes.
Right.
And he was kind enough to take everything out. We went over to his house, and for 2 hours, we tried luggage in and out of the trunk and frunk so that we could make this trip.
How many vets have you had?
This is our third one.
Third one.
We had a 98. And then a 2007 Z06, Le Mans Blue,
yeah,
which was a buyer's tour museum delivery car.
Okay.
And now this one.
Oh, I'm so happy for you guys. A little shout out for your Corvette Club. Yeah, right there. You gonna say hi to any members out there in particular at all, or?
Hi guys.
Just the whole group. We'll
just the whole group.
See you at the July meeting. We're probably going to miss the June meeting.
Yeah.
On our way home.
Absolutely. That's all right. It's all right. You're going to feel like a rock star in this car on your trip home. You told me on the phone how you booked all these rooms and hotels. Tell us about what your first drive is going to be, leaving from Columbus, Ohio, and then where you're going to go and plot it out across the country. How's that going to look?
Go ahead. You planned it all.
We'll leave from here in the morning, head to Illinois,
okay,
and see the Abraham Lincoln Museum.
Oh, good.
And then from there, we make another stop, and then on to Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse,
Devil's Tower.
Devil's Tower, yeah, I remember you saying that, yes.
And then we'll be going to Cody, Wyoming. Our friends have a ranch, so we're going to check that out. And then we go to Yellowstone to see the national park there, and Salt Lake City. And then we'll be hitting Arches National Park, Bryce Canyon, and Zion, and then Vegas and home.
Oh, because you have hotels and rooms booked along the way. How long of a trip is this going to be, you think?
Well, just under 4,000 miles. We were
Okay.
with the travel agent just booking rooms after she had planned all the stops for over 3 hours.
Yeah, you said it took a long time. So you're going to be gone, what, 3 weeks? 2 weeks?
21 days.
21 days. Okay, 3 weeks. Oh, fantastic. Car will be broke in.
Very
Yes.
much so.
Feels right at home.
I should have a little pad like the guys from the museum to kneel on.
Oh, yeah.
She hasn't.
She's way too far
She
back.
drove the 98 in a parking lot once. That was it. It was an automatic. Obviously, the Z06 was manual, and she never drove that car.
Well, this is perfect, and I'll share this with the people on the vlog. So when you get into the car, I program the exit position. So you're all the way back.
Yeah.
So to start the car, you can't even reach to put your foot on the brake and start it, and that's fine. With memory, just press and hold your memory button. The seat and so forth will come back. Now, it's not going to be close enough because I haven't programmed yours yet, but that will be a way of when you get in the car, get closer. Now you can put your foot on the brake, then you can start the car, and we'll actually get it set up to your setting. So the next time you start it, it'll come here, but you can push that button. It just makes it easier to get there because you're so far back you can't reach.
Damn.
Did you guys hear that? Hot damn. That says it all. Thanks for watching.
Oops, I forgot you had the camera going.
It's quite all right. No, it's perfect. I love to capture that. It's a good sensation. That's if you guys know what I'm talking about, if you've experienced that. And any Corvette, the first time that you started, we've shared before first drives, but the first time you start it, just that exhilaration is like, yeah, your eyes got to open up. I think yours did too. I'll have to play that back in slow-mo. Slow-mo. Gina's like, what are you doing? I know you've got a tight schedule, and we've been telling people to expect this, and you've seen it today already.
Yeah.
You couldn't even get out of here. Everybody keeps coming up talking to you. So you might miss the hotel room on the next stop. I don't know, but just have fun. Going back to California, but a nice trip along the way before they get there. Send off Pat for Jim and Gina. Congratulations. Thanks, you guys. And yes, we'll rub that Z51 wing, and I love that. Have a great trip, you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. See you, Jim. I've been wanting to talk to you guys about your trip since you left here. I've been watching some awesome pictures on Facebook and so forth. So how was the trip overall back, man?
Well, it ran the gambit.
Yeah.
We had a low of 27 degrees driving into Yellowstone National Park with almost whiteout snow conditions. And when we were in Baker, California on our way home, it was 112 degrees.
Man, oh man. I saw you guys had a little bit of everything. How did you enjoy the car? It seemed like you guys are really enjoying it. You got a lot of attention everywhere you went.
Unfortunately, too much attention.
I told you.
Well, somebody decided they didn't like it, so they keyed the quarter panel on the driver's side.
Oh, you know what? I did see that when Gina posted that, and I was so upset. And it makes me so mad that people get so jealous over folks having nice stuff, and they just don't understand what goes into getting to that point. It's really awful. You had to have been upset when you saw that.
Yeah, but I managed to just kind of roll with it and go, well,
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do now.
Yeah. Are you guys going to have it painted?
Yeah, I'm having trouble. We have a guy locally. He's really good. He works for a lot of high-end dealers, and he's a dentless guy, but he's also a painter.
Okay.
So I've watched him match two of our members' cars that were silver, and when he was done, you could not tell.
Yeah, silver's tough too.
And he does a lot of airbrush work and touch-up gun work, as opposed to painting the whole quarter panel. So we'll give it a shot and see. The car's really pretty amazing. For the trip, we drove 4,200 miles.
Wow.
We averaged 47 miles an hour. That's even with around town and in national parks, and quite a bit of idle time figuring out things in the car. And almost 25 miles to the gallon.
That's incredible.
And the worst I got was, I think, 18 miles a gallon. That was probably in Salt Lake City. And the best was actually 38, but that run wasn't very long. So the best was really around 32.
Wow.
Around 32.
That's great.
And when Gina told me you texted her and wanted to call, I said, we really need to get some of those pictures to Rick. I haven't even pulled the SD card out of the car yet,
Okay.
but we have 60 hours of video.
Oh my gosh. You guys had all that stuff scheduled. You had all that stuff reserved, hotels and stuff like that. Did that go the way that you had planned, or was there any hiccups there?
Everything but Zion National Park in Utah.
Yeah.
They get busy, and they close the scenic drive, and then they only run official shuttles on the drive.
Oh.
Well, we could not get a reservation for that shuttle. They were booked. There were no cancellations. So actually, those were the most expensive hotel rooms on the whole trip. They were almost $500 a night in Zion.
Oh, for heaven's
So
sakes. Wow.
We canceled those 2 nights and cut the trip short by 2 days, and it was saved $1,200.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then we drove from, I think it was Bryce. Yeah, it was Bryce. We drove from Bryce. We took the tour through Zion on what we could drive, and then just headed for Vegas. And Vegas was probably the cheapest room we had. We stayed at the Wynn on the Strip. It was $130.
Oh, wow. Not a bad deal.
And it was really nice. And that was the only thing that was cheap in that hotel.
Does any one picture that you had taken, or a couple that you had taken on the way home, kind of stand out? You say, yeah, that's a special shot, or that's the money shot, as we like to call it. Is anything kind of cool, or they were all just pretty good for you?
Probably my favorites are, I actually put the car on the salt at Bonneville Salt Flats.
Oh, did you? That's cool.
I walked out and tested it first, and it was really dry, and everything was gradual, no real big potholes. I only found one. So I drove it out on the salt at about 5 miles an hour and positioned it out there, took a bunch of pictures, and then drove it back off the salt. I have friends that have run there
Yeah.
and raced there. I had never been there. And unless you go there and you actually stand there and look at it, you have no comprehension of how massive that place is.
Well, you had enough miles in the new car.
Oh yeah.
What is your favorite? That's a tough question, but what is your favorite part of the new car?
I think maybe the cornering. It's taking some getting used to because I've never driven a rear-engine car.
Yeah.
So there are some idiosyncrasies of the car that you need to learn. Like, you move more in this car when you're turning into a corner than I did in the Z06, because in the Z06 I was dead center of the car. Car kind of turned around me. This one you actually feel a little bit of movement, and it just handles better. You know,
Yeah.
It's a great road car.
Yeah.
Also, that's probably the second thing out on the highway. I mean, we never were uncomfortable in the car with the GT2 seats.
I know.
And Rick, we had everything. We had once we left Ohio, we had rain for 2 days.
No.
Sometimes light, a lot of heavy rain, and then it was pretty good in the Dakotas, rain off and on. And when we got into Wyoming, as we're pulling into Cody, we're starting to get snowflakes.
I saw those pictures on Facebook. I was like, oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. You said you had a lot of attention, people checking out the car. Do you remember anything that was probably kind of the coolest comment that someone had said about the car for you guys?
Well, almost everybody, they'd walk by, nice car, beautiful car. Some people that probably aren't car buffs. I had one is at a Ferrari. I had two is at a Lamborghini, and one is at a Maserati.
Oh my gosh. That's cool. Well, I had told people, and Ryan and I went all the way to Mackinaw and back. We're gone for 20 hours. We only saw one C8 on the road. So anywhere you go, you feel kind of extra special in this thing. It's kind of cool right now.
Yeah. Do you remember when the C5 came out?
Oh, yes. I remember I had busloads of people stopping at the dealership I was at just to take pictures next to one.
Yes, it was very much the same way with that car.